Okay, magandang gabi ho sa inyong lahat. Welcome ho sa ating program. Ako po si Sonny Laragan, no? Dito po sa ating palatuntunang Immigration Corner. Magandang gabi sa inyo, no? Happy Thursday ho. Ayun. Asa na yung ating abogada? Wala si attorney. Okay, anyway, magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Today is day 20, anong day ngayon? 25th of ano araw mo? Tama, 25th, no? Tama 'yan. Okay, na-adjust ko lang ating 25th ang ating date ngayon, 25th of March. Ayan, March 2021. Good evening, magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Ayan. Hinihintay ko lang yung ating abogada, no? Yung pinakamamahal nating abogada. Medyo biglang nawala siya. Anyway, it's tonight, ang pag-uusapan ho natin ay overstayers. Yan ho ang pag-uusapan, no? Tonight. Dahil yan, kumbaga, parang common? Yan ba ang pinaka-common na, no? Yung overstaying, no? So, yan ho ang tatalakayin natin for today. At agahan na ho ninyo, ha? Yung mga questions ho ninyo, agahan na ho ninyo ang pasok nang sa ganon, ay hindi ho kayo parang yung tipong matatapos na ho yung show natin. Bigla kayong papasok, no? Pasok nyo na ho as early as now, bukod doon sa mga pagbati ho ninyo, pasok na ho ninyo yung mga questions ninyo. Ayan. You can also watch us live sa YouTube. Naka-simulcast ho tayo sa YouTube, no? So sabay na sabay ho yan. Kung gusto ho ninyo na mas klaro, mas magandang video, doon ho kayo sa may ano pangalan nito, diyan sa may YouTube. Pero sabay ho, marami tayong mga viewers na kung habang nanonood sa atin, both sa sinisilip ko. Ayan, kapwa sa sa Facebook at sa YouTube ho, and nanonood sa atin. So, thank you. Good evening. Pwede rin kayo mag-message sa YouTube, no? At pwede rin nating basahin yan. Wala si attorney pa. Sandali, ha? At hindi siya makapasok. Okay. Ayan. She's gonna try again. All right. Kumusta na ho kayo? Yung mga ano ba tag dito? Yung mga vaccinations nyo, no? Marami na tayong mga kaibigan na nabavaccinate na, ano ba itong nangyayari sa akin? Ba't parang nabubulol ako sa araw na to? Siguro excitement to, no? Excited ho tayo dahil Immigration Corner. At ito yung program natin na marami tayong natututunan, no? Tungkol sa immigration. Ayun. Teka muna, nagtitiho ako ngayon Tsatsaho ako, green tea dahil ano daw yan, nakakapagpababaho daw yata ng blood pressure. Ayan. Kaya't nagtitiho tayo. So, abangan nyo dito sa ating station. Hopefully, we will be having some other mga programs dito, no? Naabangan ho ninyo. Medyo ako'y naninibago, no? Na tipong wala pa yung ating abogada. Tell your friends about it. Paki-share na ho. Ito, paki-share ho na ninyo itong ating show. At nang sa ganun ay mas marami ho mga kababayan natin, marami mga Pinoy na makakaalam na merong ganitong klase ng programa dito ho sa Filipino TV Europe. At Tuesday, nagkaka-cross yung mga messages Like Tuesday, meron tayong Legal Advice Corner. Pag Legal Advice Corner, may pumapasok na mga questions tungkol sa ano ba tawag dito? Sa immigration. Hindi ho pwede, no? Hindi pwede nating, pwede din. Kaya lang, mas babagay ho na pagka-immigration ng tanong, kapag ka-Huwebes. Pag naman yung mga utang ng taong nakalimot sa'yo na may utang sila, o yung landlord mo, medyo may problema ka, yung kapitbahay mo, may problema ka, yung mga wills, o yung tungkol sa kung anong the best thing gawin kapag ikaw ay bumibili ng bahay, in terms of yung conveyancing, yung mga bagay ho na yun pwede ho nating pagka Tuesday ho yun, pag Legal Advice Corner. So, any legal question, pwede nyo hong pag-usapan, talakayin, except yung immigration. Kasi yung immigration, pag araw ho ng Huwebes. So happy Thursday everyone. Hindi ko pa mapasok yung mga pagbati ninyo. Meron mga pagbati na rito. Pero hindi natin maipasok dahil hinihintay natin si attorney, no? Dahil siya naman ang reason kung bakit meron tayong immigration corner. Ako ho ay wala akong kaalaman masyado pagdating sa immigration. Yung mga mangilan-ngilan lang, no? But every day, every Thursday na meron tayong show dito, yun ho ang nagiging way ko para sa akin ho, no, na matuto sa mga batas na immigration. Ang immigration ho nagbabago lagi, may mga changes eh. Kamukha nito nung nakaraang 2 months, no? Hindi pa pwede pa yung mga senior care workers, no? Hindi pa, wala siya sa priority list. Ayun, nabubulol na naman ako. Pero ngayon ho, pwede na, kasama na. Recently lang, is it March 4? Or yung lumabas ng bagong patakaran ng immigration ng Home Office, no? Wala pa si attorney. Ano ba nangyari? Attorney! Bakit ba wala pa si attorney? Teka muna, andyan na yata. Andyan na ba? Ano nangyari kay attorney? Frozen delight pa si attorney. Okidoki, ayun. Anyway, so ang topic natin for today ay ito lang, no? Immigration, ito ho, ang topic ho natin for today ay overstayers. Yung mga, pasok na dyan yung mga TNT, no? Pasok na lahat yan. Yung mga iba't ibang klase ng mga overstayers. Ayan, nakita ka na. Ito na, attorney, kita na natin si attorney. Yes. All right, okay. Ayan, so ito na. Finally, nako, biglang na-miss natin kaagad, no? Happy Thursday, attorney. Magandang gabi sa'yo.
Happy Thursday. Sorry about that. A bit of a technical problem sa akin. Nakikita kita, pero clearly hindi niyo ako nakikita. So, nevertheless, happy Thursday po. And happy Thursday to everyone.
Yes, oo. Sabi ko, ano kaya mangyayari dito? Magmo-monologue kaya ako dito? Wala naman ako pwedeng i-discuss overstaying. Hindi ko naman alam. Yung mga notes kong naitabi na naka-file na eh. Alam mo naman, every time na magkasama tayo, attorney, meron ako ditong, notes sa akin dito. Meron akong, kumbaga, para pagsusulatan. Ready for my, ito, aking, no? Yung clipboard ko. How was it? As usual, kumustahan? How was your week then, prior to tonight? Kumusta ang linggo mo? Yung past 7 days mo?
Yeah, no, this week has been, it's been busy, It's, ang lamig na naman, no? I had a hearing this morning, which was a remote hearing, which is always a little bit strange. So
okay.
Kind of a video and phone calls nga. So I still can't get used to it. So hopefully we get out of this pandemic sooner rather than later. Dahil it's affecting everything, especially, but including court hearings nga. It's just not as good. Hindi mo nakikita yung judge na maigi, no? You just see the little screen.
Yung mga body cues at mga lahat, no? Mga lahat na hindi mo nakikita mo lang pag may action yan, di ba? Pero kamukha nito, you were gone for a few seconds. There was actually a meeting. I don't know if you know this. I don't know kung meron nagmukha siya in America. There was this, hindi ko alam kung may hearing yata. Lumabas yung yung mukha yata ng, alam mo ba yan? Hindi ko alam kung pusa o lumabas. Di ba? Nag-viral yun.
Yeah.
Di ba? Yan ba pwede mangyari sa online virtual meeting ninyo?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It happens. It's a bit bizarre actually. Dahil nga sometimes that some lawyers are clearly in their office, as I was nga. Some are not in their office. A lot are at home, and in fact, some judges also are at home. No, I mean, so makikita mo in the background. Sometimes people kind of passing by or aso, no, and suddenly hear some barking or the doorbell goes. So it's all a little bit. It's all a little bit strange, but it's just not as good for clients. But it can be funny. Yung I think yung sa Amerika ata nangyari yun, suddenly, ang picture niya, he was a cat, and he was actually
Oo nga,
saying,
oo.
I'm not a cat. Like, it's not an obvious thing.
Oh, well, it probably was my daughter or my secretary's daughter's secretary. Parang ganun eh. Parang ganun eh. Na, ano,
Yeah.
that was kind of funny, no?
Oo.
Oo. Well, okay. Teka muna, may mga pagbati tayo ngayon. Pababatiin natin, attorney, no? Let's make way for some of the greetings of our kababayans, no? We want to acknowledge people who have welcomed us in their homes, ha? Dito sa ating programa. So, yung ating mga ka-social virtual bubble na family dyan, kumusta na kayo? Ito. At pakishare ho, ha? Pakishare lang natin to, no? Okay, ito. Pakibasa, attorney. Can you read the first message dyan?
Okay. Oh, Miss Paner, the lovely Miss Paner. So sorry. Hello po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. At sa lahat ng Happy Thursday po, and stay safe and God bless us po. Oh, yeah, no, definitely, Miss Paner. Actually, di ba, one year anniversary tayo ng lockdown, ano? A couple of days ago, di ba?
Yes, oo. At was it, yes, 23rd ba? Was the anniversary ng 1 year. Imagine mo, 1 year na, no? And they're headed towards probably another year of ganito, no? Sana lang yung bakuna. Tapos ka na ba, attorney? Natapos mo na ba? Hindi pa, no? Wala ka pa, no?
Bukas ang
Bukas
vaccination po.
na mo. Wow.
Yeah.
Naku, makikibalita
Yeah.
kami sa'yo. Si Attorney
so-
Dana last Saturday. Tapos na siya.
Yeah, talaga.
Oo.
She's lucky. Hindi
Wala
hindi
akong-
siya nagkasakit.
No, on the day itself, wala. But the following, on Monday, nagkaroon daw, sumakit yata ang ulo. And she was parang, parang he was feeling a bit sick yata. Parang, hindi ko alam kung umuwi siya na maaga sa ano. Pero yun lang, after that, wala na yun. It happened on the second day. 2 days after. So Sunday, okay pa siya. On Monday, doon nag-manifest ng konti yung sakit ng, sumakit yata ang ulo niya. Ang sabi niya.
And ikaw?
Pero, ako wala. Soreness lang. The following day, wala na. Kasi siyempre, natusukan eh. So may konting soreness lang. But wala na. After that, wala na. I monitored it for about 3 or 4 days pa. 5 days. Okay naman ako yan. So thank God, no? Thank God. Sana ganun din
Good.
sa'yo, no?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yeah, no, hopefully. No, balitaan ko kayo next week. I'm just so looking forward to it.
Siyempre.
Kung ano man, I don't care kung yung Astra, kung yung Pfizer nga, as long as it's done.
Yes.
So that
At saka
can-
safe naman yan. Ang pinaka-importante naman yan, it keeps you from getting seriously sick and dying. No? Yan ang pinaka-importante na yan. Pagka meron ka ng vaccination, parang ano lang yan, sipon na lang yan. Parang mild na lang ang dating sa'yo. Kung properly vaccinated ka or, maski yung first job mo, okay na yan. Rather than wala ka. Because what it trying to prevent is yung death and yung serious illness mo. By having the vaccine, in a way, you're protected in a way. Yes, maaring tamaan ka, pero hindi na kasing grabe if you haven't had it, no? So, yun ang ating ano. Okay, si Miss Paner yan. So, eto, nagyabang siya. Mayabang si Miss Paner. Alam mo ba? Eto. Ayan, nakita mo. Nasa YouTube.
YouTube din siya. Yeah. So sabi
Ano sabi niya?
Watching. So sabi niya, hello po ulit, Kuya Sonny, Attorney Lira. At sa lahat, happy Thursday po. Stay safe po. God bless us po. I'm watching from Cheltenham. Yeah.
Yes, that's the only difference. The other one, walang Cheltenham. Walang Cheltenham,
Yeah.
Cheltenham, no? Okay. Ito si Richie Borsi, attorney.
Rich Porsay. So sabi niya, good evening po si Sonny and Attorney Lira, and God bless all kababayans. Yeah, that's true. God bless us.
Okay, ito. Ayan, ito yung ating good friend. Ayan.
Mr. Duay. So, yeah. Magandang gabi, Attorney Elsie and legendary Sonny Laragan. Happy Thursday sa lahat. Nagtaga-subaybay, mga immigrant, LOL. So,
Ayan, sa lahat ng mga taga-subaybay o the followers, no? Sumusubaybay sa ating programa.
sa lahat
Ito
ng-
si
yes, yeah.
Marlatan. Ayun.
Okay. So, sabi po niya, good evening po, Attorney Lira, and pakabati na si Mr. Sonny.
Naku, naduduling ka,
Mark
attorney.
Natal.
Naduling ka, hindi nagpapati. Napakabait na si Sunny Laragan. Ikaw naman,
Napakabait. Sorry,
Oo.
napakabait. Napakabait si Mr. Tama naman.
Oo.
Mark Natal, change name. Okay.
Mark
Maraming
Natal yan.
salamat. Yeah. He's a very nice bloke, actually. Maraming salamat sa pagbibigay ng ano yan,
Napakahalagang
napakahalagang information. Yeah.
yan,
Yeah.
information.
Kamusta po?
Maraming akong natututunan. God bless. Ayan. Si Mark kaya, is he working right now? Alam ko nasa ano siya sa isang takeaway, no? Okay. Si
Yeah,
Rudy
masipag
Rilbro.
siya.
Si Rudy, yan, yung ating kaibigan.
Yes, yeah, Mr. Libro, hi. Yeah, happy Thursday, Sir Sonny, attorney, lovely Lira. Oh, he's a lovely man. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all kababayan, another informative and fun night from Belfast. Yeah, no.
Kumusta ang Belfast? Yung anak niya, si Mia Librojo, may 3 kanta na yata sa Spotify, sa ano, no? Check it out, ha?
Wow,
No, ayan.
I will,
Oo,
absolutely.
mausay yan si Mia. Kaya lang ang ano ko lang observation ko lang parang heavy yung ano pangalan to? Heavy yung track. No? Heavy yung I mean, if kung medyo na-subdue ng konti lang kasi gusto ko medyo tunog niya parang Ed Sheeran kasi I like her songs, no? Pero okay, parang rocky, no? Masyadong strong yung background niya, pero okay lang. Okay.
Yeah, I'll listen tonight.
Okay, no, yeah. Mia Librojo, no? Ayan,
Okay.
attorney, kilala mo yan? Yan, kilala mo ba yan?
Yeah, from may si Susa Batong Bakal. Susa. Hello, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday, watching from Earl's Court. Kamusta po?
Saan Earl's Court ka? Mismong doon sa malapit sa mga tindahan? O sa bagay, malaki naman ang Earl's Court, no? Malaki-laking lugar yan. Ito, puro mga taga-attorney, puro taga mga YouTube. Yan.
Yes, yeah.
Tell your friends about it. Manood kayo sa YouTube, aside from
Yeah.
Facebook. Yeah, attorney.
Yeah, so from Rose Hobbs. Yeah, hello Miss Hobbs. So, happy Thursday, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Mabuhay mga kababayan buong mundo. Yeah, no.
Uy,
Tama po.
buong mundo, Okay, All right, sa bagay, yung show na to ni attorney, buong mundo to, no? Di lamang pang UK, pang mundo pa. Ayan.
Yeah.
Richard Borse,
Okay,
attorney.
yeah, Richard Borse. Also on YouTube siya, no? Kanina.
Yes,
I think
kanina
he
nasa
was on
Facebook. Ba,
earlier.
natatandaan mo,
So, yeah, so we're being he's seeing double.
Yeah, good
no?
evening. Good
So,
evening. Thank you, si Richard,
yeah,
nag-message. Sige, let's go to
yeah,
Steph
so
Halili.
sabi nga niya. Yes, Mr. Lily. Mr. Lily is such a lovely person. Hello, attorney. Happy Thursday. Thanks for watching, Mr. Lily. She really is. She's truly lovely.
Oy, mabuhay, Steph, no? Stephanie ba yan? O Steph, ano kaya yan?
Yeah.
Steph,
yes,
no?
Steph,
Mahaba.
yes, so she's yeah.
Okay, we're on YouTube again,
Mabait
attorney.
siya. Oh,
YouTube.
yeah, okay. YouTube tayo ulit. Juliet Marcelino. So, good evening, Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday, everyone. Yeah, good evening po, Miss Marcelino.
Okay, ayan. Nasa ano tayo?
Mrs. Duay, no? Irene
Mrs.
Duay.
Duay, yes.
Happy Thursday, yeah. Happy Thursday to all, especially to Sir Sonny Laragan and Attorney Lira Cabatbat. Another interesting topic. Well, we hope so, Miss Duay. Thanks for tuning in,
no? Mga overstayers, no? Mga overstayers.
Yeah.
Ayan, no? Ang overstay, another technique, term na ginagamit natin, TNT, no? Yung mga sumusobra, TNT rin, no? Nag-TNT yan, ganyan ang mga expression ng mga kababayan natin. Ito, from YouTube, she went to, just to let us know, nasa Facebook siya, no? Si Susan.
Nice.
Ito, yung
yes.
Susan, no? Francisco Batumbakal. Ito, yung paborito mo, attorney.
Miss Giling, MM Giling. Hi,
Miss
good
Giling.
evening, sir and ma'am. Yeah, happy Thursday po. Kamusta po? Yeah, no, we're fine, Miss Giling. Kamusta ka? Hopefully, you're enjoying your week. I mean, I know for a fact that you're enjoying your week.
Okay. Well, at saka nga pala marami na intriga. They wanna know, sino kaya si Miss Giling? Ano kaya itsura niya, no? So, siyempre, curious sila. Kaya, hindi ka pa man lang nakikita MM. Sikat na sikat ka na. A lot of people are intrigued. Sino kaya si Miss MM Giling na yan? Edgar Duay. Yes. Ano yan? Virginia. Sa mga... okay. Kasi yung mga, meron tayong Virginia Elona, may Virginia Smith tayo. But parang absent. Sabi ni Miss Virginia Smith, busy lang siya. She was working, but sa background ng work niya, kasi meron siya konting business, she was actually watching and listening to us daw. Ayun, no. Okay lang yun. Basta, we do understand that. Ayan. Binabati ni Edgar si Ma'am Cora, no? Baka yung mga nanonood sa Pinoy Radio UK, lipat na ho kayo rito, no? Para hindi na ho mapagod si Edgar na sinusundo pa kayo palipat sa ating channel, no? Okay. Ito the guy who coined this happy, no? Si Mr. Enriquez, si Kagastian, si
yes.
Edgardo. Ayun.
Yeah, watching us from YouTube nga, no? Edgardo Enriquez. So,
YouTube.
good, good evening,
Good-
Mr. Laragan and Attorney Lira.
Happy Thursday.
Good PM, no?
Stay
Happy
safe,
Thursday and stay
everyone.
safe. Yeah.
Oy, si Emeline
Yeah,
Rafael,
to you
no?
too.
One of our regulars, no? Ito si Emeline Rafael. Yan, sila.
Yeah, no, we love Miss Rafael. No,
Mabuhay. Buti, hindi siya naka, ano ngayon, no? Hindi siya naka all caps, attorney. Nag-all caps yan, eh.
Oh, I miss the all caps,
Oo
actually.
nga, nabis namin all caps. Huwag ka na mahiya. Huwag ka na mahiya. Huwag ka na mahiya, no? Okay lang yun.
It shows excitement, diba?
Yes. So, positive yun. We understand it's positive. We're just teasing her. Love natin yan, eh. So, si Ma'am Cora Carzola, our teacher sa grade school, no? Hello, Sir Sonny, Attorney Lira, at lahat sa Thursday lovers. Lovers. Oh, Thursday lovers. People who love Thursday. Ayan, ayan, Thursday lovers. Okay, akala ko yun yung Thursday lovers, eh. Oy, si Irene, meron na, Oy, yung mga questions nyo, ipasok nyo na, ho. So, after discussion ni Attorney no kanyang topic, our topic for tonight, no, yung overstayers, we will be ganun ang ating, batian sa first part, and then we have the discussion ni Attorney, and then, pagbalik natin yung last part natin, yung mga questions ninyo. Okay, aga-aga na ho ninyo, ha? So, ang gagawin ho natin, pag hindi na natin masyadong, we will isa-save na natin for the next week na ho yan. Meron po akong symptoms like sore arm, temperature at 38.3. Thank God my lateral test this time is negative. Oh, good. I've had my last vaccine 2 days ago. Uy, dalawa na, kumpleto na. Oo, nakakaingit. Oh, lalo na ngayon, may problema sa vaccines, di ba? Yung supply, kaya nag-worry din ako, baka wala na ako second dose, no? Looking forward to this show tonight kahit giniginaw. Bakit ka giniginaw? Are you feeling sick?
Yeah.
Oo, meron daw siya ngayon. Okay, temperature 38. Okay. It feels home every time we watch the show of Kuya Sonny. Oh, thank you. Kasama natin si Attorney siyempre. Dahil hindi naman ako pwede mag-immigration. Ayoko magmarunong, no? hindi ko, wala akong, it's not my province, ika nga, no? Cora Carzola, hello Edgar and family. Ito, talking of the angel. Andyan na siya, Si Virginia Smith.
There's Miss Smith. Yeah, there's Miss Smith na. Yeah, we missed you. So, happy Thursday, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny, and to all. I'm here, always present, ma'am and sir. Salamat po. Salamat.
Kababayan ko yan sa Caloocan, taga Caloocan yan.
Yeah.
Si Virginia Smith. I found out that she's from Grace Park. Basta Caloocan yata, Caloocan City. Lorraine Cantos, kasi may iba-ibang parts din ng ang Caloocan, baka meron ding bagong silang din, Caloocan din yata yun, di ba? Lorraine Cantos, hello to everyone and happy Thursday. Ayun. So, sige, yun na muna ang first batch natin ng ating mga pagbati, no? Mamaya we will acknowledge more greetings and of course acknowledge yung mga questions na itatanong nyo for tonight dito sa ating programa, no? With Attorney Lira, Simon-Cabatbat. So, break lang muna kami, Attorney, okay na tayo, and then we go back into our yung ating topic for tonight. Ito ho yung topic natin. Maganda hong topic to at marami, I'm sure, nakaka-relate dito ng mga friends ninyo, di ba? So, ayan ho, overstayers. So, we'll be right back after a short break. Huwag ho kayong alis.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O, ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%, all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Okay, nako back na ho tayo. Balik na ho tayo sa ating Happy Thursday. Ayan, sa ating Happy Thursday, Immigration Time, Immigration Hour ho natin. Ito po yung ating immigration. Kasama natin ang managing partner ho ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, specialist no in immigration. So, yes, attorney, ito na yung ating topic. So, overstaying tayo, no? Overstayers ang pag-uusapan. So, yung mga ngayon meron tayong nanonood sa atin. There are some people who are non-Filipino, who are the spouses or friends who are British, no? Who are watching the program. So, ayan, halo tayo, may English, may Tagalog. Attorney, sige. Tonight, you're going to be talking about overstaying. So, take it away.
Yeah. Okay. So, ang topic po natin ngayon, overstayers. It's a massive topic, but I'll try my best nga to at least give a kind of a summary of potentially what you can do kung yung ang sitwasyon nyo. Now, perhaps let me start also by saying kung meron kayong mga questions, feel free please to email us, no? Put in your questions and we'll deal with it kung ano man topic o as long as it's immigration nga. Okay, so pag-usapan natin overstayers. It's so massive, it's difficult to know really where to start. So sabihin natin you had a visa and then that visa has expired. Now, it could be na yung visa nyo katatapos nga lang. So, it happens, especially if there's illness or lots of things are going on, and sometimes just by sheer, accident nga na nakalimutan yung i-extend. It does happen, unfortunately. So you had a visa, but you failed to apply, and it's expired, but it only recently expired. Now, anong kailangan yung gawin kung yung sitwasyon? The provision that can help you with that situation is governed by what's called Section 39E. No? Now, iyon sabi doon, you have 14 days. As long as you make an application within 14 days of the visa nga expiring, and you're able to provide a good reason for not extending your visa, so you missed the deadline, you can still application, and they will likely give you an extension of leave. Now, importante though, it doesn't mean that they're forgiving you for the overstaying, no? So the downside of that, even though you can make an application in country, and as long as within the 14 days, and also you can give a good reason why you missed the deadline. However, it may mean more likely than not that naputol nga yung status nyo. So, sabihin natin you under the 10-year route. It could be that even though you've only overstayed for a few days, that you have to start over again. So, it's a useful provision to be relied on if you miss the deadline nga. But of course, try your best not to have to rely on it. As in, make sure that you diarize nga well in advance, and then intermittently yung extension ng visa nyo. But if you miss it, then as I say, you can make an application still as long as the 14 days, and you should still hopefully get your visa. But beware, the time is not. It could be, or more likely, that you have to start over again. Now, if you're an overstayer now, but sabihin natin you've been an overstayer for some time, it happens, unfortunately. So dumating ka dito, paso na yung visa mo, maybe even a few years. What can you do? No? What are potential routes that can apply? So let's list those and look at them a little bit more. So unang-una, there's something called the 20-year route. Not many people, understandably, satisfy the 20-year route, because it means being in the United Kingdom for 2 decades. No, I mean the 20-year route actually replaced back in I think it was 2012 the 14-year route, which was a much better actually route, long residence route. But unfortunately, that's gone. So if people are saying to you, yeah, may 14 years, there's no 14 years anymore. Wala na po yun. Pinalitan na yung 20 years. Now, the 20 years mean exactly that. Kailangan yung pakita, 20 years na kayo sa United Kingdom. So, kung nasa yung passport mo, that's a good start. Yeah? So, at least mapapakita mo doon kung kailan ka dumating. But it doesn't mean, of course, that you've stayed in the UK. So, make sure na you also have anything and everything really to show na nandito kayo for all that time. So it can be things like it could be that you had pay slips, for example, in the olden days. It could be that you have bank statements, letter from doctors, NHS card, bills, remittance slips. So anything and everything really that would show that you've been in the United Kingdom continuously for the last 20 years. Now, on top of that, generally it's a good idea also to, of course, make submissions about your circumstances. But the main thing is 20 years. Yung gustong kailangan yung pakita. And I always say nga to clients, if you're making an application under the 20-year route, wag yung tatapon yung mga documents, you put it in the box and then sort it out. So the 20 years, if you get that, you will get a visa actually for limited leave to remain. It will be for 2.5 years, and you can extend that. And once you have been in the United Kingdom with that type of visa, the 2.5 years na visa, for 10 years, so kailangan yung i-extend 4 times, then and only then can you apply for indefinite leave to remain. So, but the 20-year route is nevertheless absolutely a route to look at if you've been in the United Kingdom a long time. Now, I mentioned this, but it's not really to do with overstayers. I mention it because when I mention 20 years, it's often the case na may mga tao magsasabi, but there's also a 10-year route. There is a 10-year route, but that's only for lawful residents. So kung tuloy-tuloy ang visa nyo, then you can make an application potentially under the long resident route, but 10 years. Of course, kalahati nga lang. But if you're an overstayer, hindi nyo pwedeng gamitin. Now, another possibility is overstayer ka, pero meron ka pamilya dito, no? So sabihin natin meron ka nakilala, dito kayo nagsasama, o kaya you then had children in the United Kingdom. So it's possible to make an application on the basis of your family life, no? So there, for example, if your partner is settled in the UK and the rule actually says, and there are insurmountable obstacles to family life with that partner continuing outside the United Kingdom. Now, if you're making an application under as a family member, you usually as a spouse nga or unmarried partner, importante tingnan pakita nyo, of course, that the relationship is ongoing, no? So by that, kung meron nga kayong bills together o bumabagsak yung mga bills nyo doon sa isang bahay, if you have remittances, siya nagpapadala rather than you, for example. If you have, of course, if you have children together, that's very, very good evidence nga that the relationship, of course, is genuine. So anything and everything to show that the relationship is ongoing, no? And it's also important that yung spouse nyo na ready siya. So kung kailangan niya magbigay ng if I'm dealing with the matter, then I would normally ask, for example, for pay slips ng asawa nyo o partner nyo, bank statements also. Normally, I prepare nga statements para bang affidavits to set out nga the facts to your case, the circumstances nga to your case. So kung meron kayong asawa dito o meron kayong partner dito, a possibility is the family application route, no? Now, some people also, because they have children in the UK, either born in the UK o kasama nga nila nung dumating dito, so have grown up in the UK. So a child born in the UK or indeed grown up in the UK and has been in the United Kingdom, sabihin natin, for 7 years or more, okay? Kahit wala nga silang visa, because they would follow the status nga of the parent, no? You can potentially make an application on the basis that they've been in the United Kingdom for all that time and they have therefore developed their private life in the United Kingdom. And therefore, it would be unreasonable, yun sabi doon, unreasonable to expect them to leave the UK. But again, there, it's up to you, of course, to prove that it would be unreasonable to expect them to leave the UK. And 7 years usually is the minimum time that the Home Office want to see if you're making that type of application. So, kung yung bata dumating dito at 3 and now he's 10, then the 7 years has obviously passed and you can look at that possibility. So, for that, submit certainly things like their school reports, no? That's quite helpful. School reports nga nila, especially if they're particularly good in certain subjects, maybe extracurricular activities, no? Medical report, letters from doctors, for example, just to show that they've been in the United Kingdom. But for children, school reports are very handy because, of course, it shows for the most part, for most of the year, na nandun nga sila. Now, if you're making an application, so if you have a child, pito nga sila, and yung magulang ng bata, walang status nga dito, then of course that application goes together. No? So it will be effectively the whole family will then make an application. Now, if the family, and indeed of course the child, is given a visa in the UK, again, it will be usually for 2.5 years. And during that time, you can work in the UK, you can travel in and out of the UK, and come back without needing a visa. No? But you need to extend that visa. And again, much like the others, you need to be able to show 2.5 years times 10 years, essentially, and then you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain. But if you have a child, though, who was born in the United Kingdom, no? Wala nga lang status, walang yung magulang nga. So born in the UK to parents who are overstayers, but then reaches the age of 10 in the United Kingdom, no? That child can actually apply for what's called registration as British. And that essentially means that they will become British citizens in the United Kingdom and therefore entitled to a British passport. So, kahit nga paso na yung visa ng mga magulang. Now, even though the child becomes British, does not mean that you automatically, the parents they get visa also, no? And they certainly will not become British just like that. But it certainly strengthens the case. Now, if you have a British child in the United Kingdom, and of course at 10, kailangan mo pa rin silang alagaan, no? You can't just leave them in the UK. And it is certainly very arguable and more likely and has a very good chance of succeeding that someone who's a child who's 10, who was born in the United Kingdom, it would certainly be unreasonable to remove them from the only country that they know when they've obviously established their family life and their private life in the UK. So that's if someone is born in the UK. Now, for all those applications, so yung nga, 20 years, family application, child born in the UK, child with parents who are overstayers, or child who's in the UK for say 7 years plus. Now, all those applications, idagdag nyo, pag papasok yung application, no, representations on human rights. Generally, that would mean Article 8. Article 8 mainly deal with family applications, so family life and private life. So the length of time, for example, that you've been in the UK. So it's important that you add nga yung human rights representations kung ano man papasok nyo. Because if the Home Office are minded to refuse the application, then because you've raised the issue of human rights, you potentially will have a right of appeal, because that's the only, there are limited routes to appealing. And if you have a human rights application and that application then is refused, then you can potentially appeal against that refusal. Otherwise, you may find na wala nga aking right of appeal. So you would want, if you can, of course, to take the matter to the next step. That is, ask a judge to look at it independently. No? So for a lot of these types of visas, nga, as I've said, you normally need a total of 10 years leave to remain in the UK before you can then apply for indefinite leave to remain. And then after that, potentially, you can apply then for naturalization leading to a British passport. But again, beware, if you have had an immigration background, no, generally now, the Home Office would say, well, we want to see a clean immigration background for a minimum of 10 years before we would consider granting you citizenship, your naturalization. So beware, if you have not completed, say, 10 years clean immigration, it could be that they will not grant you naturalization and therefore a British passport. And if you make an application is refused on that basis, hindi nila babalik yung pera nyo. And as a lot of you will know, it is very expensive now to make up an application under for naturalization. So if kung wala na kayong visa, kung paso na nga ang visa nyo, do not despair. Ang unang kailangan yung gawin, ang suggestion ko is seek legal advice, because it could be, yung situation nyo nga, it's something that you can make an application, and it could also be that the grounds for the application are quite strong. Equally important nga is kung wala pa kayong magagawa nga ngayon, it's also good to take advice, no? Because it is not it would be terrible to make an application and that application then is refused, and then apart from the fact that of course that's quite a depressing turn of events, it could also then open you to the Home Office, of course, no? So ingat, no? So take advice and think carefully bago nga kayo magpasok. But if your circumstances, if you're unsure, take advice anyway. And your advisor nga, your solicitor should be able to say to you, ano bang chance of succeeding? So take your time. But importantly, yung nga, keep your documents. Don't throw anything away, because it's sometimes it can be quite frustrating nga, no? You know na nandito ka for 20 years but you can't prove it. So it would be good if you just keep your documents.
Okay, ayan. Marami tayong natututunan, no? As always, attorney, yan ang sinasabi ng ating mga viewers. Kamukha nun, yung sa may family application, by adding the representation on human rights or human rights representation, that more or less arms you for or gives you somehow a strategy for the appeal, no? Later on, no?
Tama.
So lumalaki ng lumalaki. Yun, kung hindi kayo nanonood sa programa natin, hindi niyo malalaman yan, di ba? So itong attorney, 7 years na nandito, you said it's up to you to prove or something that if the child will be uprooted, merong mangyayaring problema, because you want to make your case strong, di ba? You say you leave it up to it will be up to you to prove it. Ano ang dapat prove? Ano ang mga strategies? Ano ang mga best examples or ways that one would say? Ano ang mga examples that would make a case strong, no? To justify, that uprooting that child would be detrimental to his health. Of course, the ultimate strategy is for the family to stay here, di ba? Pero ano ba ang mga cases? Ano ba ang mga reasons? Ano ba ang mga most likely to make it stronger?
Yeah, so evidence can be anything really, but ako, one thing that I've found extremely helpful nga is a psychologist or family therapist or psychiatrist nga to report, no? To be able to show independently that kung aalisin nga yung bata dito, that's very likely that child will face beyond anxiety, going to a different place altogether, a place that they would say is alien to them. So a psychologist report is very good. The school reports also, but huwag nyo nga nabigay yung school reports just like that. If the child is particularly good in something, say so in the representations, no? So it's if the child is part of extracurricular activities, clubs nga, for example, and they've been taking part in that club for a number of years, also say so, no? So especially where there are family applications, and certainly especially where there are children involved, always prepare yung statement nyo nga. Sabihin nyo, explain nyo, no? So itong sitwasyon, why you would think that removing your child from the United Kingdom to go to the Philippines would cause them harm. But as I say, background, or rather good evidence would be a psychologist report.
Ano yan? So when the child reaches 7, and or before they reach 7, siguro you start preparing na, no? Yung mga documents and everything, yung mga ano na yan, no? So you only apply for it, no? Soon as you're ready with the documents.
Yeah. Yeah.
hawak mo na,
So,
i-apply mo lang yan. Ano ba yan? Online lang? How do you do it, for example?
yeah, so always nga start with the documents. And kung hindi kayo sigurado kung kailangan nyo hindi, huwag nyo itapon, no? Just put it in a box and obviously keep the box safe. So, and sometimes nga I start these applications, start getting them ready a year in advance, no? Because there's so many things na kailangan nga, especially if you would like, if we require, say, experts to report, no, psychologists, psychiatrists nga, to report. They take a while to instruct and also to prepare the report. And then once that's all ready, so you always start with the documents. The next thing is I prepare statements, no? Para bang affidavit sa atin. So sasabihin ko nga doon, ano bang background, no? Obviously that would be from the parents rather than the child. So it would say, kailan nga siya pinanganak dito, kailan kayo dumating, kailan siya pinanganak, what is anong routine niya, no? That he goes to school, he has many friends. So but it's be specific also, no? Kung gustong-gusto niya maths, he takes part in athletics, mga ganoon, say so. It's for you to make out nga your case. And then you can add things, as I say, like experts to report. Now, pagka-ready na kayo, and you know that you have all the documents you could possibly need, then you make the application. Yung application that's made online now. It's a little bit confusing, the application, but it's not too onerous, frankly. So that application is made online. Just check always nga that you're submitting the right application for one thing, and check the spelling of everyone, and then you can submit that online. The fee, if you're making an application, actually for most of the routes that I mentioned before, is £1,052.20 per applicant. Okay. At saka IHS surcharge, the immigration, your contribution to the NHS is now £600 per year. So for 2.5 years, which is what you would be asking for most of these types of applications, it's obviously 1,500. So it's essentially 2,600, give or take, no, for one applicant. Okay. So if you are a family of 5, yeah, it can be quite crippling. So if you're a family of 5, then start saving now.
Wow, yeah. Magkano? You mentioned about at least 2,000 plus the 10,000. Tama ba?
10,000 po, yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
madugo.
Yeah.
A long time ago, mga 20 years ago, hindi ganyan kamahal nung araw, no?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Natatandaan ko pa nung there was no fee, no?
Wala pang fee, di ba? Wala pa nung araw siguro.
Yeah, wala pang fee nung unang-una. And then I think the first fee was something like £55, no?
Teka muna, attorney, are you telling our viewers not to have more children? Teka si Mal, 2,000, di ba? Pag di ba, kung anak ko, apat yung anak ko, apat o tatlo yung anak ko, plus yung, di ba, silang 5, no? Di ang mahal nga, no? Teka muna, attorney, may question lang ako. Okay, we discussed the adult dependent route before, no? Saying it's not impossible, but it's so difficult. So, if we were to give it a percentage, ano yan, the chance would be 5%, 10%, so very, very slim. Sabihin na natin.
Yeah.
Going through this 7, okay, yun ang pasakali ko, first lang yan. Pero second, itong 7 years, 7 years old or more, no, ng bata, yan ba mas, may konti bang risk yan? Would it be better for the family to wait till 10 years? Because more or less, baka parang tipong it's a cinch. Because more or less, meron ng British status ng bata eh. Because at 7, yung bata, wala pang passport, wala pang status yan, di ba? The mere fact that he's been here for 7 years is the reason why they are anchoring the parents are anchoring their application or their chance of staying here or staying here, having the legal status in the UK. Mas maganda bang to wait for 10 years or they should go by the 7 years?
Well, it would be minimum. Yeah, no. It's actually it's a very valid question and concern, nga, no. And I certainly have dealt with a few people with exactly that situation, nga. So, if you want to maximize your chance of success, then if you have a child who is British, that does absolutely help, no? So kung pwede kayo maghintay to 10 years, then that's fine. But a lot of my clients nga, 3 years is a long time to wait, you know? So I find certainly 7 years is the maximum time na that they can really they are prepared to wait. But no, absolutely. So if you can wait 10 years and that you're not ready yet, and you think, well, okay, I might as well wait until my child is in fact registered to be as British. Yeah, yes, no, it's helpful.
You mentioned kanina na well, of all of these so sa family applications you go by the 7-year route of the child or 10-year route, no, but you mentioned about background, it might jeopardize. Ano yung background, parang criminal record, anong background yung sinasabi mo? Or because obviously these are overstayers so meron ng breach kung tutusin sa kanilang immigration. Ano yung background na sinasabi mo kanina? Was it criminal or ano yun?
Well, no, the background is can be quite a few things. Of course, if there are criminal aspects nga, no, that already presents a problem. But most of the time, background can be failed applications. No? So I've had people say to me, well, wala namang problema. Ako nagpasok akong application 3 times before. I've had all these refusals. But wala naman na. No, that's not actually true. Because those you have created there for a background for yourself, no? Yung refusals, they are backgrounds, and they are obviously they will present you with disadvantages. Because sasabihin nila, it goes to character, no? They would probably say this is someone who has made 3 failed applications before, now again.
How do you classify that background? Immigration background or refusal background? How do you call that?
Yeah, normally I would say immigration background nga. And that's how the Home Office would so
okay, immigration background.
Ayan. Yeah.
So kung yes.
And if you made an application nga and you know that that's been refused, no? Pagka pinasok niyo yung application niyo, so either in the statement o kaya in the representations, explain it, no? And ano bang nangyari? It may be that you were badly advised, or you can when you mentioned previously you made this application, the application now was refused, but your circumstances have now changed, and that is why you're making this new application now. Hindi nga lang it's a duplicated application, because you of course you want your new case, your new application to be dealt with nga in as positive a manner as you possibly can.
Okay, attorney, nag-cross lang sa mind ko, no? Kasi alam mo naman ang immigration, parang drama ng buhay yan. May mga cases, situations, di ba? May story ng buhay. Question, halimbawa, let's just say, scenario, pumasok lang sa isip ko, scenario, magkapatid dumating dito. Magkapatid, they're overstayers, babae, parang babae. Isa na nagkaroon ng boyfriend, siguro, nabuntis, iniwanan, nanganak. Yung namatay si nanay. Yung bata, umabot na ng 7 years, no? Si tita na nag-alaga, nagpalaki, can that, you know where I'm coming from now, more or less, may anak na siya, may pamangkin siya, 7 years old na, pwede na sigurong i-apply, di ba? Baka sakali, no? Papasok ba ang tita sa family application?
Yes, absolutely.
Can she also benefit? Can she become, ako na parang, hindi naman surog, parang mother niyan, parang guardian niyan, ako na nag-aalaga dyan eh. Illegal ako. Nagpalaki, illegal ako, pero parang magandang strategy ito, pamangkin ko. At saka totoo naman, wala namang kasinungalingan. Anak ng kapatid ko to. Namatay nga lang.
Yeah.
Pero naiwan ako.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And when they define parent nga, no, they that also hindi nga lang yung biological parents. It could also be someone nga who is in a parental role, no, in the UK. Okay. So yeah, so in that scenario, yung tita pwede and should actually, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So maganda rin yun, di ba? At least ngayon, nag-cross lang ng mind ko kasi nga, di ba, sa bata, ito, you're taking the family application route na para sa ginagawa ninyo, no? In both ways, no? Both ways. Kaya, pag nag-apply ka, do you say right away, you add yung sa 10 years at saka sa 7 years, do you already add yung representation on human rights, technically add it on to your application so that if ever you get refused or whatever, you can have the right to appeal. Yun ba yun? Kailangan? In both?
Yeah.
In all instances?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, absolutely. If you make an application, sabihin natin under the 20-year route, only if indeed the family application nga, I automatically in the representations also make representations on human rights. No,
On human rights,
importante po yun. Because for one thing, it is an option nga. No, it's a route that you should mention. You should also apply to your case. But at the same time po, human rights, if you make an application and it fails on human rights nga, that is really the trigger to get the appeal. No, usually you don't always get an appeal, but they should if you've raised genuine human rights points. No, so you should always say it.
Okay, yan. Okay, ayan, may natutunan ho kayo, no? That's nice, no? Mga strategies ho yan sa immigration when you do your applications. Okie dokie. We're gonna have a short break and pagbalik ko natin, i-entertain na natin yung mga questions ninyo, no? Kaya we were asking you, imploring you guys to, as early as now, ipasok na ho yung questions nyo. And of course, syempre, yung mga shout-outs, mga pagbati ninyo, syempre. So we're gonna have a short break. Kami ho ni Attorney ay magbabalik at huwag ho kayong alis.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy tayo. We're back on the program. Ito yun. Well, thank you very much for welcoming us into your homes sa inyong mga tahanan, no, and for being a part of tonight's show. Siyempre, no, baka akala ng mga first-time viewers, ako po si Attorney Sonny Laragan, hindi po. Ako lang host, ang inyong kaibigan, si Sonny Laragan. Ito ho yung ating abogado, the real McCoy, so to speak. No? She's the one who can expound, explain whatever your questions are. Balik-balik ta rin pa natin yan. Siya ho ang may alam niyan. Okay, so Attorney, yung mga pagbati mo na, una muna, pakikita ko yung siyempre, we'd like to acknowledge yung mga, ito si Edgar Duay. Imagine mo, Attorney, he's showing us, he's watching us from.
Oh, wow.
Kita mo.
Yeah.
He's showing off sa kanyang breadsticks. Ayan, Edgar Duay, pabuhay ka, ayan, So he's watching us doon live. Naka-yata siya, naka-YouTube yan I'm sure naka-YouTube yan. So
Yeah.
you can watch us on both, either YouTube or Facebook. So, okay, mga pagbate at syempre questions na ngayon, okay, eto si ano pangalan nito, Attorney? Ba? Ganda naman paaba yan, kamay. Ayan, si Mika. Good evening po, new followers. Ano yan? New viewer here, watching from Kidlington. Nababasa mo ba, Attorney? Mas malinaw pa mata mo sa akin Oo, sige.
Yeah, so yun,
Okay.
so that's, Mika, yeah. Welcome
Mika.
po, welcome.
Maganda,
So,
maganda.
welcome. New viewer
New
daw.
follower, new viewer. Thank you, At sana make it a habit to watch all the shows dito, yeah, thank you. Okay, now we go to YouTube, Attorney.
Okay. So, from Celeste May Abrio. So, happy Thursday po, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sonny. Stay safe always.
Yes.
God bless you always for sharing this program. thank you ng marami. Salamat.
Is-
No, thank you for watching po. No?
Is
Ang
she
ganda
a
niya, no?
new, ano? Is she a new parang name? Celeste May Abrio, ano ba? May Abrio, tama, May
You know,
Abrio.
no, yeah, no, I think
Oh.
she's very kindly messaged us before.
Okay, has she?
Tatandaan
Okay,
ko
all right.
picture.
So, well,
No.
thank you. At least tell your friends about it. I-pass the word around, no? Merong ditong napaka husay na abogado in terms of immigration at napakagandang lalaking kaibigan dito, no? Sama niyo.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Para ako
you-
kinalabutan doon, ah. Okay, all right. Thank you
so
ha, sa
pagbigyan
inyong,
natin, Mr. Duway.
sabi niyo, welcome daw kay Mika Maika, no? Sabi ni Edgar. Amir David ba? Amir David, no? Good evening po. More power. Ayan. May tanong yata si Edgar, attorney.
Okay. So, tanong. So, sabi po dito, from our favorite, Mr. Duway, sabi niya, legally credited din po bang letter of background support of character reference from the Filipino community that the overstayers, tapos hindi ko makita yung
Involved with.
follow.
Sabi niya, stating that they are valued and active members of the community.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's helpful po, no?
It could be one of the documents na pwedeng gamitin siguro.
Yeah. I mean, if you're making
support.
use of the 20-year, for example, so kung miyembro nga yung tao under the and she's making use of the 20-year route, you can say the organization can say, yeah, she was a member in 2000 since 2005 and has been an active member since. So that actually would back up potentially the 20-year route. So absolutely, tama ka, Mr. Duay, no? Makakatulong po yun.
Okay. May question dito sa atin, immigration question. Sabi ni Mark Baho tuloy. Sabi niya, hi po, ano po ang difference sa settled status and permanent resident?
There isn't. There's no difference. It boils down to the same thing. So settled status, permanent residence, indefinite leave to remain, they all mean na you can stay in the United Kingdom without any time limit.
Okay. Sige, okay. Meron tayong isa pang question dito. Ito, mula kay Odette Luna. Okay, sabi ni Odette Luna, Attorney, 4 years na po application namin ng employer ko for my working visa po dito, UK, last February. Nag-hearing na po kami through video call. But unfortunately, hindi po na-approve ng judge. By the way po, galing po kami Hong Kong. Sinama po ako ng amo ko na mag-for good na po dito. Ano po, dapat po namin gawin? And passport ko po ay nasa home office pa po. Tama po ba, Odette Luna?
Oh, okay. That's quite I'm so sorry, Miss Luna, na you've had a refusal. So, I think ang background niya ito, I suspect she entered the United Kingdom with a domestic work visa, no? But that was after the law changed back in I think it was 2012, I think, no? Tapos wanted them to stay in the United Kingdom, made an application was then refused. Tapos appealed against that refusal, obviously triggered a human rights appeal, and on appeal, na-refuse nga unfortunately, or the appeal was then dismissed at the first tier tribunal. So, what can you do now to challenge? So, unang-una po, you can potentially appeal again, no? But kailangan mo ng permission, no? You can't simply just appeal like that. So you need permission, in fact, to appeal. So essentially, you make that application, and kailangan mo sabihin doon why it is that you say that the first-tier tribunal judge made a mistake in not granting the appeal. Now, if that does not work, then there's a possibility again of challenging that, no, by renewing, of course, the appeal. So there are potentially 2, 3, sometimes 4 steps nga additionally. But kailangan yung tingnan kung pwede ba, no? So do not simply appeal just because it's the potential next step. Tingnan nyo, may pag-asa ba, no? So there, go back to the determination. Nung na-refuse kayo, nung na-dismiss nga yung appeal, nakakuha siguro kayo ng yung judgment nga, no? Yung determination galing sa judge. And there it would have said why it is that your appeal failed. So, raise that nga with your solicitor, okay? Or get a second opinion. So, to see ano bang nangyari and is it worth challenging now? So, unfortunately, the options are limited, Miss Luna. So either you can see about appealing again, no, appealing the appeal effectively, or potentially even making a new application kung meron kayong grounds. And yung passport mo na nasa home office, yeah, they will hold on to that, unfortunately, because you don't have a visa anymore. Sorry, Sonny. Hindi ka namin marinig.
Sorry. No, what I was saying, kung let's say for emergency she had to go home, she will now have wala siyang way kundi humingi ng parang emergency passport sa Philippine Embassy. Ganun ba mangyayari?
No,
They're hanging. Oo.
Yeah, no, I mean they're hanging on to it and they're actually allowed to hang on to it. But ito, kung uuwi ka na, no? What you need to say is actually tell the home office na yun nga ang plano mo na uuwi ka, and they will make the passport available actually. But you will collect it, in fact, at the airport. So they're not going to post it to you in advance.
Pero ayun yung umuwi, pero because she has been refused, technically, parang once she leaves the country, she cannot come back legally. Ganun yan, di ba?
Yeah. So if you're leaving the country, no, pero hindi pa paso yung passport mo, gusto mong bawiin galing from the home office.
Meron na emergency, she had to go back home. May emergency.
Yeah.
So, wala siyang intention. The reason why the employer was applying on her behalf, di ba? Di ba? Parang talagang fully supported siya ng employer niya. Gusto magstay siya. Kaya lang, let's say, yun nga, kung uwi, wala nang way. Pagka once withdraw niya yung passport niya ron, parang hihiramin mo lang muna because uwi ako, actually, hindi ka na talaga pwedeng bumalik, di ba? Hindi na siya babalik, no?
Yeah, so kung uuwi ka, hindi pwedeng uuwi ka tapos babalik ka nga dito. Dahil unang-una, kailangan mo visa pabalik nga dito. But the chances of you getting a visa kung meron ka ng refusal nga dito, very, very slim, if not zero.
Have you heard of cases, attorney, na namatay na yung tatay? Namatay na yung nanay, hindi makauwi dahil naghihintay nga ng mga, kunyari, 20 years, 10 years, o mga ganun eh. May mga ganun cases, no? They have to make the sacrifice, a huge sacrifice, no?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, and it's heartbreaking, you know. And I've had unfortunately also cases where namatay yung mga may namatay na anak, no, sa atin. And it's the pain, no, that they must go through. It's horrible. It's difficult to even fathom, no, to lose nga your child, but also hindi mo sila makita. You can't even say, properly goodbye. It's heartbreaking, but it happens. And especially kung meron nga silang iba pang mga anak, no, sa atin, and sila nga nagsusuporta. Yeah, they are often made to make a choice, no? A kind of practical one, or what you really want to do, which is an emotional one.
You're torn between, di ba? Go home, you see makita mo yung last ng anak mo, pero on the other hand, hindi ka naman makabalik siguro at may problema ka na, di ba? Tapos hindi ka na ipapagpatuloy yung sending money. So, yun ang mga ganun. It hurts, it's painful nga sa mga ganyan, no? Okay, attorney, meron tayo ritong, ano ba to? Ano ba yan? Ito may follow-up question pala siya, no? Si Odette Luna. Follow-up question po, my passport po is expired na po last year. Paano po yun? Thank you po very much. Hindi ba mas maganda yun na pwede na siya kumuha ng passport siguro sa embassy? Total, expired na. Pwede ba niya iwanan yung expired na rin sa home office? O sige, diyan ka na lang, yung passport ko. Iwanan na lang kita rin dahil expired ka naman. Wala naman ako silver yan. I don't know, pero would you need your old passport to procure a new one? or renew for
Well,
your renewal?
no. As I understand, it's the Philippine embassy. They don't need your old passport necessarily, but of course they want to know what's happened to the old passport. And you're required to prepare nga yung affidavit, no? Sometimes the affidavit of loss kung nga nawala. So you can certainly say in the affidavit that it's with the Home Office and it's not been returned.
No.
And anyway, paso na nga.
Mas maganda.
One thing, it's also important. Pagka papasok kayo ng application, huwag niyong kalimutan, kopyahin niyo lahat, please. Yeah? Passport, hindi nga lang yung harap. Lahat, all the pages, kahit blanco. No? Get it scanned. So you have a complete set.
Yun.
Especially important kung nandun
Oo.
nga yung visa. Na kailangan makita, yung, hindi nga lang yung harap, yung photograph. Yeah? Ang importante nga po yung visa.
Hindi lang sa porke nag-apply ka sa, let's say, home office or maski saan, no? Pag nagta-travel ka rin, ako, I keep a copy. Nababasa natin sa mga travel tips yan, no? Keep a copy, isave mo kung saan man, kung nasa mga Google Drive mo, no? Para in case na mawala yung passport mo na nag-abroad ka, meron kang maski kopya, no? Maski pa, kung pupunta ka sa British Embassy o kung saan ka pupunta, at least mapakita mo na meron kang talagang passport talaga na nawala lang during that holiday mo o kung saan ka man or during the time na nag-travel ka, no? So, malaking bagay yan.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, tama po.
Tama, no? Attorney, sabi ni Adet Luna, sabi niya, heartbreaking po talaga po kasi po, my father passed away last year. Ako, kita mo yan.
Oh,
Bigla naman akong
yeah.
naiyak naman doon sa Odette,
Yeah.
para naman ako na-touch. Bigla ako tumayo yung balahibo ko,
Terrible.
namatay yung father niya. Hindi siya nakauwi, no? Nang dahil diyan. Wow. Ako, may kakilala ako sa US, hindi nakauwi ng Pilipinas, no? Na namatay yung nanay, namatay yung tatay, di ba? Hirap.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
napakahirap
yeah.
nun, napakahirap. Naipasok naman natin yung tanong ni Virginia, attorney. Meron siya rito ang tanong eh.
Hindi pa po.
Hi, Attorney Lira.
So-
If they overstay or work as a live-in caterer for more than 10 years in her employer, is there a chance can she make application or she need to wait another 10 years to fulfill the 20 years?
Yeah, it's she can of course wait nga, no, but another decade on top. So it's quite a big ask. So in that case, the 10 years na nga siya doon, you can probably reasonably argue nga, no, that relationship goes beyond the normal employer-employee relationship. Also depends kung anong sitwasyon nga nung employer. No? It could be that the employer is suffering from some kind of condition. So, I'll give an example. I've dealt with cases where the employer unfortunately suffers from dementia, no? And in fact, so bad that the only person she can only really recognize yung kliyente ko, no? Wala nga lang status. So in that case, we argued nga that actually the family life, the Article 8 family life, must extend also to the employer. Dahil kung biglang mawawala nga yung carer niya, yung kaibigan niya really, and then it would likely curtail the life of the employer, because they are effectively family. So the answer is there possibly is actually something you can do, especially with that time scale, Virginia, no? Dahil it's 10 years is a very long time, no? It's a commitment, yeah. It's a decade of commitment. That is true commitment, no?
Attorney, okay, question ko lang, ito pinag-uusapan kasi employer, no? Tapos si Odette nagkaroon ng problema. Si Odette nga ba yung nagkaroon ng problema na 4 years na yata, di ba? Nag-apply. Say for example, may katulad si Odette. Ganon, na employer niya, very supportive. What if during that 4 years na yon, nag-apply sa 4 years, na in love yung employer, kunyari sa kanyang, yung kanyang kasambahay, halimbawa, na in love, would that cure it or give it another status or another, di ba, nag-appeal sila, nare-refuse. What if kung naging lovers na sila, can they get married in the interim? Kunyari habang nag-apply, nagkatuluyan, kinasal, naging mag-asawa, posible ba yun? And if posible,
Yeah.
kinasal sila, will they now submit a different application? Asawa na eh. Hindi na siya yung dating kasambahay eh. May ganun bang
Yeah.
kwento?
No, no, absolutely. Actually, it's because for one thing, kung matagal na kayo magkakilala, no, sometimes from that develop a relationship, no, and it's certainly not an unusual thing. I've seen it a good few times. So kung yung mangyari, if the application is still ongoing, you know, then it's probably an idea to make further representations. Kung nandun na nga application, the representations being panibago ng background, no? Dahil ngayon, you now are in actually a relationship. Now, kung natapos na yung application, sabihin natin na refuse na application or indeed appeals have been dismissed, then yes, you can make a new application, but this time on the basis of your family life. Now, the point to make there is this. Kung yun ang background, you made an application, you were like friends or employer nga, tapos you're now actually partner, no? Kailangan yung i-explain, because of course magdududa yung home office because you made an application, ibang ibang ang status ng partner mo, and now you're making an application and you're saying that you now have a relationship. So sa statement nyo or indeed in the representation, sabihin nyo nga doon, no, you made this application, itong background nga, but that relationship then progressed to now that you are in a relationship, maybe akin to marriage, since whenever, no? Kailangan nyo nga lang i-explain, but don't forget to explain it. It is quite important because of course that may raise some suspicion on part of the home office.
Ayan, okay. Alright. Naisip natin tuloy yan, no? Okay, merong ito siguro may mga nagpapatanong kay Irene attorney, no, mga questions siguro dahil alam mo na may mga nurses na nasa diyan lalo na sa Darby sa lugar nila, no, na baka malapit na mag-attain ng ILR, no. Ito may question siya. Attorney, can you mention, Attorney Lira, yung mga grounds ito sa overstayers, ano ba siguro grounds for refusal sa mga ng home office siguro sa mga overstayers, no? Ito, sorry. Hindi ko na i-flash, no? Ito. Ano ba ang mga magiging rason ng home office on refusing an overstayer? Overstay na nga, di ba? Di ba? Yun it's a breach na kagad of immigration ano ba tawag, rules, di ba? Yung overstaying dahil limited ka lang kung ano ka lang, ano ba tawag dito? Kung tourist visa ka lang kung binigay siya 6 months or 3 months, kailangan uuwi ka sa Pilipinas, di ba? O kung saan ka man galing. But if you after that, pag lumagpas ka na, but you're given about 14 days. Kunyari, sinabi, pagpasok mo sa port of entry, yung immigration officer, binigyan ka agad 6 months. So legally, sinasabi mo, attorney, you can stay 6 months and 14 days? Or less than 14 days?
Yeah. So there you have to be careful. Yung 14 days. I actually, thank you for this question, Ms. Dwight. It's a big topic, but I'll try and deal with it. But just going back to the 14 days. Yung 14 days po, kung nakalimutan yung extend yung visa, no? Basically, sabi ng home office, okay, kung meron kayong magandang rason, bakit nyo nakalimutan, bakit nyo ginawa, and it's 14 days or less nga, yung yung paso, no? Then you can still make an application. But that will, hindi naman ibig sabihin na there's no consequence for that. The consequence being, they will say likely na naputol yung status nyo, no? So it's not so it is you can make an application, but it's certainly not a good idea. Don't rely on it, is what I'm saying. So it's not that you get 6 months plus 14 days po. You can still make the application, but you may have to start again. Now, itong question ni Ms. Duay, grounds for refusal. As I say, it's a big topic. Ang una lang titingnan, ano ba yung application mo, no? So if let's say for example, your application mo is on the basis of your relationship, because you have a partner who's settled in the UK, so being British, you know. So they will probably say, so ang batas, you need to be able to show, amongst other things, that there are insurmountable obstacles to pursue a family life outside the United Kingdom. So insurmountable obstacles means it's nearly impossible. to go and live somewhere else. So, for example, if the partner nga is British, born in the UK, it means then leaving the United Kingdom and looking to see about getting a job nga sa Pinas. So all those things you can put forward as factors that make it that provide insurmountable obstacles nga to pursuing a family life outside. So ang gagawin ng Home Office, they will say, we do not think that there are insurmountable obstacles for you to pursue a family life because. No? So for example, they may well say, well, and I certainly have come across this, that the partner is Filipino-British. No? So they may well say, well, you are also Filipino. You're aware of you lived in the Philippines before. You can make a family life in the Philippines together. No? So that would be one possible. So ang gagawin nila, they will look at that type of application and then refuse it according to the law that's required by that type of application po. So it's a very big topic. Sorry, Sonny, hindi ka namin marinig.
Sorry, thank you. Sorry, nakakalimutan ko kasi I had to switch off my microphone habang nagsasalita ka. No? Okay, follow up lang yan. Siguro cost lang kung magkano. How much does it cost to apply for families ILR? Yeah.
Yeah, family ILR. Well, it depends how many.
Dagdag ko ba, attorney? Dagdag ko na muna to para isang related naman to siguro. Follow-up question din po, do they have to undergo series of tests for ILR and citizenship once they grant yung application nila? Once mag-grant ang application nila?
You mean yung English language, for example. Yeah, so ito po, ang bayad per applicant is £1,052.20, plus £600 per year. And you're asking for 2.5 years. So you're looking at 1,500 po on top. That's the IHS surcharge. So really, per applicant, you are looking at approximately 2,600, for an application for leave to remain, limited leave to remain in the UK. So it's obviously quite a big amount. So kung tatlo kayo, then it's obviously £2,500 times 3, £7,500, give or take. Yeah. Now, ito pong ILR and citizenship. When sabihin natin nakakuha ka ng visa, and then you are entitled then to apply for indefinite leave to remain. Then when you apply for indefinite leave to remain, for most applicants nga, kailangan yung test, yung life in the UK, and yung English language po, yung the B1, if you undertake those and pass them for the indefinite leave to remain, you don't need another one separately for the citizenship. Pwede yung gamitin. It could be that they changed that. It could even be that they changed that this year. But at the moment, kung nakakuha kayo, you successfully did your B1 test, yung English language nga, and on top of that, you then got your knowledge of life in the UK, the two na kailangan yung pakita, you can use that then for the citizenship. So, yun.
Okay, all right. So, ayan. Okay. Oy, salamat sa mga nag-share ng ating show. No? Thank you very much. Irene, maraming salamat. Ayan, nagtatanong siya. Pero siya, masipag mag-share si Irene na attorney. No? Ipasok ko lahat ng mga tanong ni Irene para at least na okay. Ano po ang tulong na binibigay ng government, especially kung may mga anak sila dito na nag-aaral? May free housing, baka hindi, alam mo ba ito, attorney, may free housing po ba as benefit apart from free education ng mga bata dahil dito sila pinanganak?
Yeah, okay, ito po. Kung walang visa nga yung mga magulang, there's no recourse to public funds, So, hindi nga pwede yung universal credit, for example, or housing benefit, things like that. So, wala nga silang visa. But the child is entitled certainly to education. Yeah? Primary education, absolutely anyway. So, they need still to be registered, and schools should still register them regardless nga kung anong status ng mga magulang. So, absolutely. And also, child, and indeed, yung magulang nga din, you're entitled to as far as the NHS go, which is not considered public funds, you're entitled also to primary care, free of charge. So, kung kailangan nyo ng GP on the NHS, you are entitled to that kahit wala nga kayong status. Kung may ma-aksidente nga kayo, and you are you need emergency care, again that's considered primary care. And again, there should be no charge nga for that. Pero kung kailangan yung follow-up, so sabihin natin, aksidente kayo, and then you needed to undergo, say, physiotherapy, that definitely will be chargeable because it's no longer part of this primary care. It's then secondary care.
Okay. Greetings lang. No? Ito si Don War. May greetings si Don War. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Good evening. Thank you very much, Don War, for watching us. No? Si Mika ba yan kanina? She was thanking us. No? Thank you po. Ayan. Thank you rin si Odette Luna. Sabi niya, thank you po very much po. No? Sabi niya. Lorraine Cantos says, hi po, Attorney. Ayan, hindi ako binati. Ikaw lang. No? Tatampo ako, Lorraine, ha? Joke lang. Okay. Si Odette nagtanong lang, pero may sumagot dito. Sabi niya, saan po pwede makahingi ng requirements para po mag-apply ng bagong passport? May ideas po ba kayo ng mga requirements para po apply ng new pass? May idea po ba kayo sa mga requirements? Salamat po ng marami, no? Sinagot siya ni Lorraine. No, sabi lang ni Lorraine, search mo lang sa Philippine Embassy London po, nandun ang mga services nila po. Ayun, no. So at least
tama si Lorraine. No, tama po yun.
Yun.
No, tama po.
Yun.
Actually, Miss Luna, so if you want just a little bit more elaboration nga, sa kaso mo, if you want to give me a call tomorrow, I'm happy to, of course, just discuss it with you briefly. Kung if there are things that you want just potentially clarified, I'm happy to try and help po.
Ayan may number. Ayan ang number mo ni attorney. Email address or telephone number yan 02033750 treble, no? Treble dito kasi treble 5, no?
Opo.
Triple 5 sa mga Amerikano sa atin sa Pilipinas. Okay.
Yeah.
Ayan. So ayan. Okay. May ito final question natin dito, attorney. Ito, from Lilia, hindi binibigay kompletong apelyido para nga hindi makakilala. May na-meet po ako na Polish na lumiligaw sa akin. Kung sagutin ko po siya, attorney, may pag-asa po ba ako na maging legal dito po sa UK? TNT po ako sa ngayon. Overstaying to.
Yes. Yeah, no, may pag-asa po. It depends really. So, unang-una po, ito, mahal mo ba siya? No? Kung mahal mo siya, no, absolutely. No? Tingnan natin. So yun ang unang-una, di ba?
Oh.
Yeah. So now dahil nga we've Brexited, we've Brexited now. But it does ibig sabihin titingnan nga yung application mo under the normal immigration rules. So yung sabihin natin boyfriend mo nga kung meron na siyang permanent residence dito, settled status na nga siya, you would then be considered under the normal immigration rules. So yung nga kailangan pakita nyo that there are effectively insurmountable obstacles to pursue a family life. If you, for example, if you're married, or that there are exceptional circumstances and there would be unjustifiably harsh consequence kung papaalisin ka nga dito. So the quick answer is yes, no, it's a possibility. Yeah, possibility, Lilia.
Ayan. All right. Yeah, well, ayan. Salamat daw po, sabi ni Odette Luna, sabi niya ito. Thank you, attorney, sabi niya. Salamat po. Yeah, sige, you give her a call, no? Si attorney andyan, no? May telepono diyan. Ayan. Okay, so
yeah.
Yes, si Irene Duway nagpapasalamat, attorney, no? Thank you. Ayan.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Sila Irene Duway, yan. Thank you. At si Irene ho, pagmamalaki natin, nakikita ko sharing siya. She shares the program, no? Yan, sila Ma'am Cora Casola, they all of them, they share the program, no? So si Irene Duway, yan, nag-share siya. Mabuhay ka, Irene, no? Nakikita kasi yan pag kung sino nag-share ng ating program, sharer. So maraming salamat. I guess
salamat po.
yung ano to, sabi ni Irene, yung council, ano ba, sabi niya, yung council, mukhang may competition to mag-asawan to, no? Si Irene and si Edgar. Ano yan, kung yung council housing po ba, attorney, hindi binibigay ano yan, as free? Kasi po, paano kung yung family with children ay di na ma-afford ang rent?
Yeah, unfortunately, Miss Duay, kung wala ngang status sila, no, they will not be entitled to public funds, okay? Sadly. So that also includes nga yung housing benefit. Now, in some cases, especially where there are children involved, you can make applications on exceptional circumstances, but really it has to be exceptional nga. But yeah, no, unfortunately, kung wala silang visa, no, wala silang status, they have no right to claim benefits in the UK unless they're exceptional circumstances po.
Attorney, kung halimbawa nandito on a work permit, no? Let's say a nurse, no, dumating dito, nag-work, nadala yung anak niya, no, yun, they're not allowed work permit, no? Hindi allowed ba sa recourse of public funds, let's say child benefits? Hindi sila let's say by way of walang nakakaalam siguro, baka nakalusot, nakakuha ng child benefits, no? Na sabi mo nga hindi po pwede as a work permit holder. Would it affect their application eventually for ILR? Makikita.
Yeah,
Kung
it
sila
could.
nakita, makaka-apekto
Yeah.
ba yan? Madi-deny ba sila? Ma-refuse ba sila?
Yeah, no, it could, because then you have made a claim nga, no, for public funds for benefits that you're not entitled to. And amongst other things, that goes against yung character nga. So yeah, no. So kung alam mo that you're not entitled to it, then for goodness sake, don't claim it.
Ayan. Okay. Well, naku, attorney, napakarami ng ating mga questions for today na talagang para kumbaga sa isang full tayo, full race tayo ng husto, no? Well, okay. Attorney, I guess siguro magpaalam na tayo siguro. And save it for for next week. Yung mga tanong ho ninyo, pagka medyo na late na ho, ipapasok na ho natin for next week. Attorney, baka may nais kang banggitin, shout outs or anything na ano ba mga balak mo for this weekend?
Well, apart from so this weekend tomorrow I'm going
Tomorrow,
to my job.
yung the
And,
big day
yeah.
for the
So,
vaccination
yun
mo.
na nga. So I've been told, just in case nga, it could be that you're feeling under the weather a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So no great plans. At I think uulan nga nitong weekend, I think.
Ay, hindi ba maganda tong weekend natin? Parang hindi yata
I don't know. Well, today umuulan nga, no? So I have a feeling this weekend may not also be great weather. Hopefully. But yeah, no. Hopefully just relaxing nga this weekend. Now, yung mga kababayan po natin, unang-una, thank you so much nga, no, for joining us, letting us in, to your home, and yung mga regulars nga natin, it's lovely to see them. I think it's we may need to start paying Mr. and Mrs. Duay, ha? they become agents, ha?
Yeah,
so
andyan sila. They're really they really are very supportive of our show. In fact, hindi na sundo ni Edgar ngayon. Maraming nandun sa kabila ngayon. There's our new names. So, like Belen Anderson. Yes. Yay! Sabi niya, yay! Finally caught up, no? Si Renato, ano ba to? Gemma Acopanda. Hi, good evening po, Atty. Lira and Kuya Sonny from South End, no? Ito binabasa ko. Curve Terry says, good evening. Kung 5 years illegal, then nagpakasal and nag-apply ng FLR ba to? FLRFP? Meron ba ganun? Pwede ba mag-work while yung application is still in process, and can you see your GP? Thank you.
Yeah.
Attorney, ba?
GPS? Yeah, opo. So, that GPS work, no. Kailangan nyo munang, to be able to properly work, no, kailangan nyo muna makuha yung visa.
Guys, please, no, punta ho kayo sa Filipino TV UK. Diyan na ho kayo magmanood. Pero I do appreciate that you guys, maraming questions, attorney. Maraming mga messages, pero hindi ko na ito na lang, last na lang siguro. Pasensya na kayo.
Yeah.
Nananawagan ako, dito ho kayo manood, ha. Filipino TV Europe sa Facebook din ho. Okay, meron tanong si Juliet Marcelino rito. Hello, attorney. May nagpapatanong po, sabi niya. 20 years na, ano to? Asa ba yan? 20 years, ay, nawala na. Tako, hindi ko na makita, attorney, nawala na. Kinain ng
shame.
previous message mo. Sabi no, ito si Ires Legislador. Good evening, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Hope Attorney can reply my email sa'yo. Thank you po, Attorney. O yan, may Ires, A-I-R-E-S, Legislador, parang legislador. Babae, lalaki ba to? Nag-message daw si Attorney. So,
Pwede, pwede po ba? Yeah,
Attorney.
Kung nagpadala siya akin ng email, can you just resend it, please?
Yan, pakisend. Dito ba pinadala, pangalan niya, si Aris Legislador, parang legislator, pero legislador. Ayan.
Yeah, doon niyo po padala, no? So, Cabatbat at Douglas, tapos dash Simon, no? 2S yung Douglas, yeah? Doon niyo po padala yung question niyo. Pero yung under the subject, kung pwede niyo pong lagay, Immigration Corner. So, just in case I open it and then I need to look for it again. So, Immigration Corner po.
Attorney, hindi ko nababasahin yung kaya. Juliet, pasensya ka na. Hindi ko makita yung... Kung once na may pumasok ng message, bumababa eh. So, nahulog ka ng pababa nung may pumasok na isang message. Marami pang mga messages doon. So, yung mga nanonood sa Pinoy Radio UK, thank you. Okay lang ho yun. Pero, we advise that you now go to this channel, no? Filipino TV Euro po. Diyan na ho kayo manood. Para nang sa ganun, yung mga nakikita nyong naifa-flash na messages, napipick up lang ho namin yan kung kayo ho ay nasa Filipino TV Europe. Okay na ho, maliwanag. Juliet, pasensya ka na, no? I couldn't flash your message or read your message. Natabunan na eh. In fact, ito, natabunan na naman. May panibago na namang. Ito, sumagot nga si Iris. Sabi niya, sa email po ni attorney, yes, I will send again po. Thank you po. Ayan. Mahilig siya sa po.
Yeah.
Maraming salamat po. No? Thank you. Okay. Attorney, sige, malamig, you hope to be uulan. So, nasa bahay lang kayo except for your, bukas lalabas ka for your inoculation, yung vaccination,
Yeah.
no? So, ayan. No? Okay. Well,
So,
attorney, ano pa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, because I will likely nga just be do nothing at all, no, over the weekend. I'm just to chill out in the hope, or hopefully not feeling too bad following my job. Now is the time to email me your questions, okay? Because I have nothing to do, so I would be privileged and happy to go through my emails and actually answer the questions. So and I have the whole weekend to do that. So email me. So kung nanonood nga kayo not on Facebook nga, no, and your questions have not been answered. So email me your question po, yeah? Sa Cabatbat at Douglas, so that's 2S ha, sa Douglas-simon.com. So if you email me tomorrow and by Saturday, then I'll see about replying over the weekend. So email me your questions if we didn't get around to looking at it. But otherwise, have a great and lovely weekend po. Stay safe, no? And again, I say this all the time, but truly I'm so humbled for and thank you so much po for joining us, no? And spending your time with us and asking so many interesting questions. I'm humbled, and it's a privilege to help.
Ayan. Okay. Yan. May tumulong kayo, no? Alam mo, meron tayong bayanihan dito, no? Si Belen Anderson. Ang tanong lang pala ni Juliet, pero dinidiscuss na natin kanina, 20 years. Ang tanong daw ni Juliet, dito ang maganda rito, attorney, may parang bayanihan na tayo eh. So the others, kamukha ni Belen, nakita niya yung question ni Juliet, nirepost na kagad. Pero, Belen punta ka na dito sa Filipino TV Europe dito ka na, ha? Dito ka na magpunta. Okay, basahin ko lang, baka magtampo lang ito si Juliet. Hindi naman nagtatampo, pero basahin na natin. Sabi ni Juliet, ang tanong daw ni Juliet, sabi ni Belen, 20 years overstaying, what to do to regularize? Pwede niya yata, di ba? Dahil 20 years eh.
Yeah.
Oo.
No, it's absolutely it's a possibility. Yeah, no, it's definitely a possibility. So start po with documents. So unang-una, kailangan nyo pakita 20 years na kayo. Hindi lang 20 years kayo dumating, but 20 years kayong tuloy-tuloy nga dito sa UK. So always start nga with documents. But the quick answer is, yep, that's absolutely a possibility to make an application.
And kung nag-enjoy ho kayo sa palabas na to, panoorin nyo huli. Di ba? Kasi ganyan sa when you review, di ba? Pag minsan sa unang hindi nyo nakuha. Pero mamaya, panoorin nyo, yun pala yun. So may nadadagdagan ho kayo. May yung na-miss out nyo first time, makikita nyo, madadagdagan ho sa pag pinanood ho ninyo. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Nako, that's nice. Mag-chill out si attorney and very gracious siya. Sabi niya, ito, yung email me. Sabi niya, no? So, isa naman, call me. Ayan, so, yeah, okay. Attorney. So, ayan, we are also honored and you say truly humbled. Sabi mo nga, well, ako rin, I am humbled by the fact that they are there and welcoming us in their homes, no? At yung mga patuloy na panonood nila. And ang aking request lang is share it to people. Not only this program ni Attorney Dana, yung soon na aking show na regular sa daytime, i-share ho ninyo, no? Para nang sa ganun lumaki ho tayong lahat, no? Ayan, si Belen, lipat ka na rito, nagpapasalamat sila, nakikita ko yung mga messages nila. Ang ganda, nakasmile pa, may mga maganda. Okay, well, sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Lira, no? At ito po si Sonny Laragan, ang inyong kaibigan, na nagpapasalamat po sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay sa amin and making our Thursday collectively together, no, happy, no, making it a happy Thursday. Dahil hindi lang kami rito, it's not only your part kung wala naman ho kayong dyan wala namang use tong para lang kami ni attorney nagkakapilang na magkasama lang. But we really truly appreciate that you are there and you are interacting with us by way of your greetings, shout-outs, questions. We truly appreciate and are thankful that we are getting this response and yung ating, diba, yung ating interaction. So, let's do it again. Let's make another happy Thursday next week, no? So, till then, maraming salamat. Keep safe, keep warm, and stay healthy. Bye!